Hi, my name is Alan from Alan V Property. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. In the course of my work, I have seen many buyers make mistakes when they buy a property, be it whether for their own stay or for investment. Today, I'm going to share the top 9 mistakes they make when buying a property. Let us dive straight into it. Listening to the wrong advice. The first mistake some buyers make is listening to the wrong advice. I have seen buyers recommended certain properties that I will never consider. Some are told to upgrade for the sake of upgrading, whereas others are given the wrong professional advice, and the list goes on. One such example includes recommending a small and expensive apartment to a young married couple. This couple was supposed to consider a resale flat due to their financial commitment, but they are persuaded to buy a private property instead because of the so-called capital upside. This couple has to shelve their family planning because of the huge mortgage to worry about. Moreover, the apartment is so small. I mean, how to have babies? Based on my personal observation, those that have a higher mortgage commitment tend to have one child or none at all. Here, there are no right or wrong answer to it. This is ultimately a personal decision. But what I can only say is that our SAF generals are very worried because there are not enough peng kia in Singapore. My advice, talk to a few people in the property industry to get a sense of things. Ask around and do your own research if you have plans to start a family. I think a humble HDB flat will do. You can always upgrade to a private property later on in life. But family planning cannot wait. Buying beyond their means. I have seen buyers with an initial budget of say 1.5 million but stretch their budget up to 2 million so that they can commit to a bigger property. More expensive property also mean a higher down payment and higher monthly installment. Who doesn't want to stay in a big house? A common mistake is overcommitting to a property that is beyond their financial means. The danger will come when they either lose their job or receive a pay cut. This can be devastating and you could potentially lose sleep over it. My advice is always to buy a property that is within your budget. In my view, buying a property should be a happy and stress-free event. Don't ever lose sleep over it. Build in some buffer and never ever show hands because you will never know what will happen in the future. In addition, always keep at least 12 months worth of mortgage installment as a contingency. You will never know when you will need them. Chasing after the money. The third mistake some buyers make are chasing after the money. Their intention is very clear. They just want to make money from property and are willing to go all the way to make sacrifices. Here, I personally seen a case where a family of 5 stay in a small 2-bedroom apartment. They commit to this new apartment in the hope that they can profit from their investment. Unfortunately, they have to stay in the apartment for many years before they can finally sell it and make a small profit. Can you imagine staying and suffering in such a small apartment for so many years? Oh my God. My advice is always to buy a property with your heart and don't chase after the money. Property is not like shares and stock where you can speculate on. It's physical real estate. By the way, property is not everything. You can always make money from other investment products. FOMO, fear of missing out. This word FOMO has been well mentioned in the media in 2021 to the run out of property price till now in 2022. This is especially true for new launch properties where buyers are afraid that they will lose out and buy whatever that is available. Somehow, they are rushed into buying and forget the usual due diligence they need to do for any property purchase. Developer keep raising price when stocks are low. If buyers don't make a decision fast enough, the property they are eyeing could cost even more the very next day. Ultimately, the decision lies within yourself whether to commit or not. Sometimes it's true that a project is so popular and if you don't commit, you will have to buy it at a higher price in the resale market. On the contrary, sometimes such FOMO symptom can only lead to unwise property purchase. Failing to do due diligence. What is due diligence? Due diligence is to check out the property they are buying for any abnormality that does not appear to the naked eye. Some examples include buying a property that is near an upcoming major road. Others include a property that comes with an unclean title or a HDB flat that has a neighbor from hell. My advice is always to do proper checks before committing to any property. If you are unsure, engage the help of a professional housing agent. Pay them a fee to do some searches for you or to physically see the property. The fees you pay them is worthwhile for the financial consideration that you are committing. Don't be penny wise and pound foolish. Move back to your in-law house to save on rent. This is the deadliest mistake in my personal opinion. I know of some buyers that will sell their property and stay with their in-law while waiting for their property to be ready. If you have a good relationship with your in-laws, then please go ahead. If you don't, then my advice you is to seriously consider. Such move could backfire if you do not have a good terms with them. The damage from a broken family or even divorce is definitely not worth it. I've seen with my own eyes how sour relationship with in-laws backfire. So please think twice just to save on rent. Overpaying a property. This is a case where the buyers overpaid for a property not even knowing it. This is especially true for beautiful properties that command a premium. This is the same for life. I'm always very cautious about beautiful things. I call it the 美人计. This is an example of a resale condominium in the Orchard area. Look at the past 10 transactions here. All the transactions are losing money from 300,000 to up to 1.6 million. Why is that so? I'm pretty surprised that the developer managed to sell this 99 years condominium at 3,000 per square feet 10 years ago. Obviously, this buyer did not do their homework and overpaid for the beautiful property. That's why there is this Hokkien saying, 好看不好吃. So for guys, always remember this by heart. Fail to upgrade when the situation permits. If you are currently staying in a humble HDB flat and wish to upgrade, you should seriously consider whether you are able to. Here, you need to save up and make sure you have a stable income in order to upgrade. Moreover, if you have plans to upgrade, you should do so before you reach 45 years old. Why 45 years old? This is because your maximum loan tenure will only be up to 20 years, and this will indirectly affect the loan you can borrow. Please refer to my earlier video on upgrading if you have missed it. I will leave the link in the description below. Buying at the peak of the market. This, needless to say, is when you commit to buy a property at the peak of the market. Congratulations! If you buy a good property, maybe you still can scrap through unshattered. But if you buy a lousy property or a property that doesn't have much demand, in Cantonese there is a saying, 保重, meaning take care because you have technically paid the highest possible price for it. No worry if you have paid a high price because as what you always hear, the high today is tomorrow low. But don't forget, this tomorrow is not really tomorrow. It can be 10 years down the road. By the way, is 2022 the peak of the property market? Please feel free to comment and share your view with me. Personally, I feel that the property bull run has come to the end. The party is over no matter how much the government try to cool the market. Because it's not effective until interest rate hit the pocket, and that really matter. Going forward, I hope the top 9 mistakes to avoid when buying a property has helped you to make better decisions. If you have other mistakes that you would like to share with me, please share them in the comment section below. I hope you have enjoyed this video, and as usual, please help me click on the like button and subscribe to this channel. Thank you and take care.